Human Ichigo. Before becoming a Soul Reaper, Ichigo was already stronger than most normal humans. The guy could see ghosts, fight delinquents, and survive random attacks from his own father. Honestly, living with Ishin was basically free combat training. After his mother's death, Ichigo became much tougher and more aggressive, always ready to protect others no matter the danger. But compared to his later forms, this version of him was basically the tutorial character. Shinigami Ichigo. Ichigo gains Soul Reaper powers after Rukia transfers her abilities to him during a hollow attack. And somehow, this complete beginner instantly defeats a giant monster, like he already watched the walkthrough before playing the game. His Zanpakuto Zangetsu is massive, but Ichigo swings it around effortlessly. After entering the Soul Society, Ichigo rapidly becomes stronger. He defeats Renji, fights captains, and even clashes with Kenpachi Zaraki, a monster with a sword. Seriously, Kenpachi fights like pain gives him energy. The turning point. Ichigo's biggest obstacle, however, was Byakuya Kuchiki. During their first fight, Byakuya completely destroys Ichigo and removes his powers, proving the massive gap between them. But after training with Urahara, Ichigo returns much stronger, shocking even Byakuya with his speed and growth. Bankai Ichigo. To save Rukia, Ichigo unlocks Bankai in less than 3 days, even though most Soul Reapers train for over 10 years. Why? Because anime protagonists don't believe in normal progression. His Bankai, Tensa Zangetsu, compresses all his power into insane speed, turning Ichigo into an absolute speed demon. This form allowed him to keep up with Byakuya's flash step and massively increased the power of Getsuga Tensho, turning every attack into a destructive black energy blast. Hollow Mask Ichigo. During his fight with Byakuya, Ichigo's inner hollow awakens, creating the iconic white mask and boosting all his abilities. The scary part, however, is that Ichigo barely controls it. His hollow side talks like he's one bad day away from becoming the final villain. After training with the Visoreds, Ichigo learns to control the mask and uses it against powerful Espada enemies like Grimmjow, who smiles during fights so much you'd think violence pays his rent. Vasto Lorde Ichigo. After Ulquiorra nearly kills him, Ichigo transforms into a terrifying hollow creature with long white hair, giant horns, and enough power to make Ulquiorra panic for the first time. This form is completely mindless and attacks everything nearby. Vasto Lorde Ichigo casually tears off Ulquiorra's arm, fires gigantic Ceros, and regenerates injuries instantly. Honestly, this version of Ichigo felt less like a character and more like a boss fight nobody prepared for. Dangai Ichigo. After realizing how outmatched he was against Sosuke Aizen, Ichigo trains inside the Dangai dimension where time moves differently. When he returns, Sosuke Aizen can't even sense his spiritual pressure anymore, which terrifies him, because when the villain starts panicking, you know things are serious. Dangai Ichigo completely dominates Sosuke Aizen, catches his sword barehanded, and tanks attacks without damage, like the fight settings were accidentally put on easy mode. Final Getsuga Tensho. This form transforms Ichigo himself into Getsuga Tensho, covering him in black spiritual energy and giving him access to Mugetsu, one of the strongest attacks in Bleach history. The attack nearly destroys Aizen, despite him evolving every 5 minutes like a Pokemon with anger issues. The downside, however, was massive. After using Mugetsu, Ichigo loses all of his Soul Reaper powers. Fullbring Ichigo. After losing his abilities, Ichigo unlocks Fullbring powers, allowing him to manipulate the souls inside objects. This form boosts his speed, agility, and defense, while giving him armor-like energy around his body. Honestly, it looked more like a futuristic superhero transformation than a Soul Reaper form. True Shikai Ichigo. During the 1,000-year Blood War, Ichigo discovers that he is part Soul Reaper, Quincy, and Hollow, making him one of the most genetically confusing characters in anime. After reforging Zangetsu, he gains dual blades representing both sides of his power and unlocks much stronger attacks like Getsuga Jujisho. Horn of Salvation plus Bankai Ichigo. This is Ichigo's strongest form, combining all of his powers into one balanced transformation. His appearance resembles a controlled version of Vasto Lorde, complete with a giant horn and overwhelming spiritual pressure. Even Yuwash considered Ichigo dangerous in this form, and that's impressive, because Yuwash was so broken the plot itself needed backup to stop him. In the end, Ichigo defeats Yuwak, proving that the orange-haired teenager who once fought ghosts eventually became one of the strongest characters in anime history.